Hello, everybody. Manly is here, and welcome back to another episode of As We Descend. And we're on our second cycle. And we have a couple of notifications here that we can explore. So let's go to this unknown locale first. Rest and recreation. Since you have the Innkeeper's Blessing, the tavern automatically sends refreshments to restore your troops between battles. Make sure to stop by for a drink. Give your men some additional rest. Okay. And who's this old mentor? The veteran Forge Master would be willing to help train your troops for the new threat. Draft a new combat guard for your units. Perfect. So we can get a new one for Vanguard, which deals 4 damage. If the enemy intends to attack, inflicts 16 stagger. Or deal 8 damage and apply fixation with a weak point bonus of 1.5% damage. Or we can upgrade or draft a new strafing run. Fixation has good potential because it allows us to burn down an enemy quick. And its upgrade is 10 damage, or 2 times damage for a weak point bonus. Whereas this upgrade does 50 and 20 stagger, but I like the stagger because that's a lot to apply to an enemy. Even though that damage isn't as good, the stagger kind of offsets it. So I think we'll go for this one. Okay. And here we have 2 envoys and an expedition force. I don't think we need to... Okay, so we're at full health for everybody. So I think we can just send in our expedition force. What is this? Get her heal. There's a bustle at the rally point. The scavengers have halted. Something is emerging from the corruption. We dare not provoke it. Prepare. Shore up defenses around the city instead of venturing outside. The city folk speaks of shapes that stir within the miasma. Take caution. So we have a new card of prepare defenses, and it's a mandatory single use to ready our defenses. Okay. Wait, we can... What happens if we bring our prepared defenses to the old mentor? Go to the forum. The ominous encroaching miasma on the horizon, your mentor offers to help prepare. Need a last minute lesson? So we can draft a new combat card for our units, or spend 1 favor to choose which unit to teach. Let's do that. Let's upgrade our arbalist. Okay. So here we have 2 rune, draw 1, or fixation and critical aim. I'm going to take this. Oh, and that's it, huh? Let's go to the market plaza. Guard captain. It's routine patrol by the guard captain. You could assist him on his route. He's been known to accept bribes too. So we can pay 40 copper for the contraband and upgrade a card's combat card to its enhanced form. Or with 9 strength, we can gain copper. Let's upgrade. So we can upgrade that one. Or upgrade critical eye. Which... Oh, it turns to a 0 cost. Yeah, let's do that. A 0-cost card would be good. I don't need to buy any goods. Let's see what the innkeeper has. The Tasty Grub is a filthy establishment filled with rapacious celebration and carefree revelry. This would be a good place to encounter people of interest. So we can gain 1 to 3 favor or resupply. I don't need to do either, to be honest. So we're going to leave and we'll go to the next cycle. Pay the Piper. Spawner. Enemies can spawn additional minions. Enemies have attacks that directly focus on our lantern. Don't fall to the step of this Dread Piper's tune. And we're going to need all our forces for this one. Okay. Let's go ahead and build up that stagger. We're going to probably take some damage. Watch out, the enemy intends to attack your lantern directly. Cool. Not anymore. Let's see. We can... flute. Discord it so we can attack his flute or the tendrils. What happens if we attack the flute? Oh, okay. We're gonna light barrier that. Oh, I should use one of my runes. The enemy is no longer staggered. For the next turn, it will be harder to stagger it. That's okay, because we got it down. Let's go ahead and do that. He still has fixation on him. Let's see. Increases stagger values or critical damage. Let's go ahead and increase our stagger. How do I use a rune? Toss a card here. Oh, darn. Okay. I was hoping to get a 0 cost. Watch out. Certain attacks, like the guard break attack and lob attack, will always miss when you have no units in that zone. So that's 6. It's going to do 20. Let's reposition him. Barrier that. Do another barrier. Apply bandages. Let's see, can I take him out this one? No, I can't. Nice. Okay, awesome. The wall holds, for now. It's grim work, but the scavengers cut away useful parts from the carcasses as best as they can. And we get a corrupted core, which is a vile, still beating core. Once purified, it could be used. And also an artifact fragment, 1/2 of a greater whole. And the old mentor has something for us, as well as the forum. Lantern Researcher. With the sudden influx of new artifacts into the city, there's a reignited spark of curiosity among the guild. Yet, these recent discoveries have also brought a renewed sense of danger. We seek the Warden's advice to guide the guild's election of a new provost. What do you make of the new findings? Do we embrace curiosity or embrace danger? So we can get a brute to negotiate, who has 5 strength but 1 in intelligence and charisma, or an investigator who has 5 intelligence. Let's embrace our curiosity. It is wise to always keep an open mind. Let us venture forth in the name of insight. He segues into an incredible lecture that enraptures the whole guild hall. The researcher has sent a new ally to aid your cause, and we can get a new envoy type card, the investigator. Let's talk to the old mentor. The veteran Forge Master would be willing to help train your troops for the new threat, and let's draft a new combat card for our units. Okay, so we can apply 5 burning, which takes damage after each turn, and also reduces the barrier by 0.5. I think that's pretty good. Or deal 8 damage and 2 armor break, which is also really good. I would like to see the burning aspect, though. Yeah, because I think that's kind of where we're at right now, is we're experimenting with our cards. So let's get this one. Right, and look at this. Let's give our corrupted core to the Troika Council. So, the rabble was correct. Monstrosities lay at the heart of the storm. We must be vigilant with a threat so close to the city. The council requests that you take further action to safeguard the outside. We bear the responsibility. Is there any other solution than fighting? The Lord Attendant raises an eye. This was not an offer one could refuse. Order must be upheld. Aye. We keep our oath, and let's draft a new rare unit. Oh, wow. Look at these designs. Okay, so this is cool. So we have a field bombardier. So he's got load the cannon, which increases an attack bonus. And he has 2 of those cards in his deck. He also has signal shot, which deals 6 damage in 1 lockstep, which allows us to switch our unit zone. And he also has 1 recoilless, which ignores the exerted effect. It's pretty cool. Let's check out the Valorous Knight, who has Armored Advance, which moves a guard zone and grants us Fading Armor. Or Heavy Slice, deals 7 damage and apply Rupture. Loses health when staggered. Adding Rupture to staggered enemies also causes health loss. That's really good. Ooh, because this one gets a bonus if we have Fading Armor, and also deals stagger, which is good for Heavy Slice. So that's also a good one to keep in mind. So, but the Bombardier can deal splash damage, where this one can, if it's empowered, get increased attack based on its armor. What about the Reaper Zealot? What does she have? So she gets Wicked Slice, which deals 5 damage and implies fixation, and has a sadism bonus. Bonus becomes active when targeting enemies already affected by more than 7 stacks of any debuff. She gets Shadow Step, which switches the unit zone. The move is Zealot, so that switches out us with another character or another unit. And this one is deal 9 damage to all frontmost enemies and apply 3 rupture, which would also be really good. But I'm liking the knight. But I want to see what this bombardier has. Because if we... Playing this card uses a charge. Once all charges are spent, it's removed for the rest of battle. Let's just go for the knight for now. Yeah. And then we'll explore the other cards. Okay. Who needs the artifact fragment? Elder, thank you for retrieving this precious relic. You have 1/2 needed to piece together a powerful technology. If you find another, it would be most pleasing if you would bring them to me. And they gave us 1 favor. Okay. Our investigator. Where can our investigator go? We can buy goods. We only have 39 gold, so let's... Do we need to rest at the tavern, though? I think we're pretty good on health. Let's send him to the Market Plaza. New location discovered, the Atelier. The Atelier is a place of austere comforts. You're just a bit less worried about knocking over a prized piece now. There is much to be made still. And we can test a bracer, which buffs a unit with empowered 1 for its next battle, or pay 2 favor to increase the max health of all lanterns by 5. I feel like that's a much better thing, so we'll do that. So Lantern Resilience, permanently increase the health of all lanterns. Alright. I don't need to rest. I don't really need to buy goods. So let's send out an expedition force. Okay. So we can do a couple things here. Let's get the amorphous ore. Look at these enemies, Bane minions. And they have Afflictor. Enemies will put affliction cards into our battle deck to impede us. Attack intent, guard break. Will hit a unit in the guard zone, always misses if no units are in the zone. An attack intent lob will hit a unit in the support zone, always misses if no units in the zone. Bane minions work in tandem to isolate victims, but can be deceived with quick reflexes. Okay. So this is going to be interesting because we can only bring 1 unit, so we have to be kind of careful. Can I inspect? Okay, so I don't know if I want to bring him. I think I need the reposition. We're gonna bring our Vanguard. Watch out. Certain attacks like the guard break attack and lob attack will always miss when you have no units in that zone. Okay. Unfortunately, let's go ahead and do that. Cool. We're going to reposition. We're going to smite and aurora beam. Your attack damage was reduced by this enemy's armor. You still dealt full stagger, which is good. Okay, and now we have to... Okay, so he's staggered. We're gonna do that. Do that. And that way we get 4 barrier next turn. That's only gonna deal 6. We can get him all the way down. 4, 6. Let's try not to take any damage, shall we? Perfect. Okay, so let's get this. Our amorphous ore, a metal that seems to reshape every time you look away. And now we have 6 available. So we can get this minor growth, which gives us 13. Or a Mythion growth. Let's try it. And we get this steel monster bone, rich in calcium and titanium, ideal for alloying. Alright, and that's all our scavengers. Who needs the amorphous ore? Should we give it to the lantern researcher to improve our lanterns? Or draft a unit action? Let's give it to the lantern researcher. The ancient module will allow the guild technicians to alter the design of lanterns used on battle sites. Draft a lantern card to replace an existing lantern card. Alright. So we can apply 4 barrier and 1 empowered. Not bad. Apply 10 barrier, but also exerted 1. So their cards cost 1 more command points. Deal 11 damage and apply fixation. I like the barrier and the empower card because, and it's a 0 cost. So if I can empower, that'll give me 2 empower cards at 0 cost. So I can also get rid of a light barrier because that's pretty much a 1-for-1 swap. And we'll give our steel monster bone to the old mentor. The massive monster bone has more than enough calcium and iron to improve the quality of the metals from the forge. Or your old mentor will happily take this and grant a unit a new perk. Okay. So we have, oh cool, okay. So Weapon Ablaze, whenever this gains empowered, it also gains Burning Weapon 1, which the next attack applies burning, which they take damage for each turn, which I like. I like damage over time abilities. Wind Runner, whenever this one switches zones twice in a turn, draw 2 cards, okay. Or Heroic, whenever you target this with a card, also apply Fading Attack, which is increased attack power. I like damage over time, so we're going to go with the Weapon Ablaze and see how that works for us. Okay. We have another expedition force, so let's go ahead and use that. The Ancient Manuscript or the Amplifier module. Let's go with the Amplifier module. of land and sky. Engorged increases attack power at 2 stacks, enables powerful special attack. Flying receives only 0.5 damage from melee attacks unless staggered. Okay, so we're gonna want to bring our arbalist. Okay, so I think first thing is apply fixation to him. Get a light barrier. We're going to steady shot. Steady shot. I'm not going to reposition because he's going to guard break. And we're expecting 11 damage. Great. Okay. Can we empower again? To give us 2 empowered? Yes, we can. Okay, so it stacks. Let's apply some burning. Light barrier. And we'll just do that just for fun. Wonderful. No damage taken either. So let's retrieve our, what is this, artifact? So draft a lantern card. So gain 1 command and draw a card, which is great. And add melting point, which is an ethereal card that deals 5 damage and applied burning equal to health damage dealt. It's pretty good, and it's a 0 cost card. And then also applied empowered 1 to the lantern. If it's already empowered, draw 2 instead. The gaining of the command point would actually be pretty good. And it has 2 charges, so we can use it twice. Melting point. I don't know if this isn't bad either, but I'm gonna go with this. And I think I'm going to get rid of alacrity. Because I don't really use rune. Let's see. So we can get this Mythion growth. Let's go for it. An ancient data log. Radiant lines. Matching Ava's crown. Awesome. And that's all our scavengers. Offering to Ava. The cryptic data log is placed at an altar of Ava. Before leaving, wish for her blessing, and that drafts a miracle card, which is a potent single-use blessing from Ava. When drawn, immediately draw an extra card. Or reflect upon her wisdom. After reaching the next depth, permanently gain +1 max rune. Like I said, I don't really use rune cards right now, so let's just draft a miracle card. Add Ava's answer 5 into your draw pile, which deals 10 damage and 20 stagger to a random enemy. Wow. Or 15 barrier and persistent barrier 5, which persistent barrier is retained plus 50% of base barrier between turns. But they're single use. So do I want to defeat enemies quickly or survive an attack? Like I said, I think the best defense is a good offense. Okay. To the market plaza. Units are training under the mentor's watchful eye. One of them is slacking, but the other lacks skill. Who would you rather focus on? Motivate the slacker, train the unskilled. Let's motivate the slacker. So the arbalist can get one of 3 perks. So obsession, whenever you reapply fixation to an enemy, this unit automatically triggers an extra auto action. That's pretty good. We could keep applying fixation then. Or blindside, whenever this switches to support zone, its next attack applies feeble, which decreases the enemy's attack power. It's also good for survival. And scrounger, you gain 2 bonus scavengers for the next scavenge when sending this unit to battle. That's not bad either. These are tough choices. Because this allows me to apply fixation and damage. But I don't really have a lot of fixation cards. Blindside, it's kind of the same. I don't have a lot of things that move me back and forth. And so that's very dependent on... Let's see, I have 1 reposition there. And 1 for the Vanguard as well. I like Scrounger. Let's do Scrounger, because that will allow us to open up new things. Okay, what else do we have? Chance encounter. I don't really have a whole lot of money to buy goods, and I don't need to rest at the tavern either. So the trade in. You don't seem to be using that much. Perhaps I could buy it off of you. So forget this card. Does he give us 14? Okay. Why not? Yes, he does give us 14. And that ends our 3rd cycle. Okay. And that's where we will stop the episode. And next episode will continue in our 4th cycle. As always, I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time.